come on. I wouldn't move. Oh, please. Sorry. A little bit of a weird starting round. Okay. Does that even do anything? Don't think that thing can kind of like drop enhanced. Yeah, useless. Uh-oh. Okay. So I think it actually, like, it just breaks the execution thing. It just breaks. Like, it's as if the enemies are somehow somewhat invincible in a way, and then it just breaks. And then eventually it is able to catch up again. It's kind of weird. Still curious if there's going to be a max level, but I don't think so. For the weapons. Oh, he's still back there. I always expect the enemies to run after me, but I kind of don't. They kinda never do. Alright, there has to be a chest somewhere here. Just need to find it. Go be on the roof. Or I might have missed it in the previous stage as well. Could be. Probably just missed it, I guess. Whatever. put it. I'll be right back. Bruh, I go to the toilet and the game just crashes? Nice. You love to see it. I didn't even do anything and the game just crashes. That just tells you how much, like, how broken my CPU is. I guess this is broken again. Let's try it again. Nice bonk. I swear. It's just stupid that they start levitating. It still feels so weird checking all these chests. Seeing them offering scrolls and being like, yeah, I don't care. That really just invalidated lots of chests that are now completely useless. It's crazy. I hate this stage. It takes ages to complete. be back in a little bit. No crash this time? Okay. Cool. Yeah, look how buggy this is. Like, huh? Why is this even a thing? I'm confused. It actually looks like lag for some reason. It's so weird. Like, I slightly teleported, so it looked like lag. Hey, Alcatraz. Yeah, again. Huh? Am I, like, still on a server or something? That feels so weird. Or is that my CPU being wonky? I don't know. How's the game going? Okay so far, I guess. Nothing really special at the moment. The only thing I have left to do is getting it through gold roll, which could take ages or just never happen at all. Literally the only thing I rely on is the golden weapons that are dropped on the floor. Only those can drop with a plus 30 multiple, that's the only thing I have left. I'm at a plus 28 for both of the weapons, and I'm looking for a plus 30. So minor improvement that's left, basically. Got everything else. And after that I literally cannot improve the run any further. Like, obviously I'll have to, once I get those, reroll all the inscriptions again. Which might take a moment. But yeah. No, I'm not restarving. I'm literally just going through the stages at the moment. Like, my goal is still to just go as far as possible, and by the looks of it, I can still go incredibly far. Like, there's no slowing down inside at the moment. Hold on, why am I doing that? I mean, technically, I'm constantly slowing down a little bit, but it's not really noticeable yet. Essentially, like, the timer on the right, as long as it keeps going up, I'm sort of like not actually slowing down, right? As soon as the right side timer actually keeps going down consistently, that's where my run is like looking like it's going to end. So essentially, I get like 35 to 45 seconds back every time I finish a stage. So as long as I beat the stages within that time, then I'm fine. And the only way I can still improve my run a little bit, like by a very, very minor bit, is by just obtaining the true god rolls. So essentially the left weapon here, it has all the inscriptions it needs. The right side weapon has also only one real inscription that it needs, and it has it. And I got everything else too. So it's literally just the enemies there. They keep getting a little bit more health every stage. Yeah, the only bad thing about this guy is he has invincibility phases, which I cannot breach through. That he's technically not invincible, but very close to. But I can no longer breach through it. He has too much health for me to be able to breach through the shield. So I'll have to wait out the phase. So you see this thing, like that's what I would be interested in the hell, but they roll on fierce, meaning it does more damage, which has a cap. So I don't care about it. The only thing I care about is it being multiple and plus 30%, which is a bit weird to calculate to figure out what exactly is 30% on it. But yeah. The multiple doesn't have a cap, really. Or like, it does, but it's weird to explain. Basically, the only way I am on max damage. So the only way I can do more damage is by doing it more often. So everything that speeds it up is helping me. Everything that just increases the amount of damage is useless to me. And there's only two ways to do more damage, or like to increase the speed, which is, yes, attack speed, but not only that, it's also the amount of projectiles. So as you can see, like 100,000 here is the cap, like I upgraded, still 100k. I'm just doing it for this number up here to go up further. And that's not even the damage cap, like all that damage there gets multiplied with all these shenanigans here and whatever, it's lots of stuff. Yeah, the amount of projectiles is literally how many bullets go out of a single shot. So the more projectiles I'm able to generate, the more damage I'm able to apply in a single shot. So the DPS goes up with it. So like, now I'm in combat, right? And you can see my projectiles are at 15.68 because I am in combat. And my rounds also go up. I'll show you the number again once there's no enemies around. Last wave. There's lots of things that basically go into it that increase my rate of fire. But I already have obtained everything. The only way I can still increase it is by literally just getting a better roll of the weapon. So yeah, now it's slowing down a bit. It's still at 900 rounds, it's not the starting. It's still higher than it should be. It should go further down to like 500-ish. But yeah, only these rounds and the projectiles here on the right, that's the only thing I can increase it with. And like this, usually the Starfly has one projectile, but it goes to 2 projectiles because of this inscription. I don't care about the consumption, that's fine. And it gets another 0.02 or another 0.2 projectiles for every kill. This one goes up to a max of 2. So from 1 projectile we get to 2 projectiles, plus 2 projectiles we get to 4 projectiles. And then we get another 20% chance for this, so we're getting up to 4.2 projectiles, and we're getting another 28 because it's a multiple. So we're getting up to 4.48. And then like these scrolls get it taken into account. Some of these increase the projectiles again. Whenever the weapon skill activates as well, projectiles increase again, so it's going to increase the projectiles even further, and it also increases the rate of fire. For instance, this increases the rate of fire by 150%. This increases the rate of fire up to 150%. This increases the rate of fire of up to 60%, and like things just start stacking up. Or this increases the rate of fire by 50%. It's like, it's lots of shit that just rolls into it. Then I have a bunch of scrolls that increase the rate of fire again. Lots of math. And I literally, like, you sometimes see it, like there's some very small white numbers that have like a red blood thingy on the side. And as you might have guessed, this is bleed damage or true damage. That is the only number that is uncapped. Oh. And the only way for me to achieve that number is by applying two specific elemental effects at the same time. And that tick number is based on the enemy's health. So that one essentially is static. It goes up with the enemy's health. But everything else that has a damage cap will obviously over the time slow down. And that is why I'm playing Lyn, because Lyn is at some point going to ignore all of that, because I can just execute the enemy. So as soon as there's like an additional line on the enemy that goes up to a certain point, and when it reaches a certain point I can execute the enemy, which insta-kills it. So regardless of how much health the enemy still has, it just dies. You can see the leaf line like underneath the health bar. Yeah, it's a numbers game. So skill damage, so my execution thing goes up to 30 million, I think. Yeah, 30 million. That's the max. Also the grenades. So it can't go any higher than that. Normal weapon damage is capped at 10 million, I think. If the damage type is effective against the enemy, it's capped at 15 million. If it's ineffective, it's halved, so 7.5. And then there's like burning stuff that directly affects their health, critical hits that stack up again that directly affect their health, and there's lots of shit that's just going into it. And then there's combustion damage, which can go higher as well. And my game crashed, cool. Yeah, I think my CPU really starts to be giving up now. I don't know if it's because the PC has been running for a while, or if it's something else. So I'll have to do the entire act again. The good thing is I can save with every campfire, every act. But yeah, I'll drive to the shop tomorrow, trade in the CPU, hope that I get a replacement, or otherwise just buy one again. They're being annoying and I'm just gonna buy one. And then hope that kind of crap's gone. Because it should be. Come on. What is causing the CPU to do that? Essentially, my CPU is running on a... It's kind of like, it's weird to explain, but essentially it is like running on max power, right? Because it's supposed to do that anyways. And the way it's designed is that, like, it's supposed to overclock by default, meaning it's supposed to overperform. So essentially, like, go over its usual limits a bit. And this is kind of causing it to obviously suck in more power. So more voltage is required. The problem is there's a limit. And they did not cap it at the limit. So if it sucks up too much power, essentially if it goes over the voltage limit, it gives up. Because it is just straight up, it is either too fast, or just straight up doing a failsafe, in a way. When it becomes too fast, it basically tries to write into memory where there is nothing left to write. Or otherwise, if it realizes, well, this was a bit too much, it literally just dies and, well, it just hard reboots for safety. Like, critical processes just essentially just start to die, and that's when I'm starting blue screen. That's like the very brief and most likely incorrect description of it. Just imagine something to suck up so much power that it just fucking gives up. In a way. I did underclock it, yes. The problem is the CPU is quite literally damaged now. It literally cooked itself. So some of the physical cores are broken. Think of it like being overheated. So they just straight up malfunction. And that just happens randomly. It basically depends on if whatever background process, for instance the game itself, which kind of core it is using, the core is potentially just going to malfunction, which is going to crash the game. So the CPU literally is defective. That is, I can underclock it as much as I want. The only thing I kind of like managed to do is now like get it a bit out of range of that it crashes again. Like it's essentially attempting to use less power sooner, but it's still going to like hit the malfunction stuff. Because I've done it too late. Or well, I couldn't even have done it earlier because it was not possible. Essentially both the CPU driver and the BIOS, they both didn't have a cap. I would have to set that completely manually, and I do not know, like there's so many options, I do not know all the other little options that I would have to set to make the CPU just not cook itself. But in the meantime, Intel has released 2 drivers, I think, which are preventing exactly that. So once I get a new CPU, I should be good. Like literally the same one, new model that's not cooked yet, should be good. And should not happen anymore. Yeah, pretty much. I just literally have to replace it. That's why I'm gonna visit the shop tomorrow. I wanted to send it in already, but I couldn't because today's a public holiday. And tomorrow is no delivery stuff. So I'll drive to the shop myself. I'll just bring it there. Let's see what we can do. Best case scenario, they immediately give me one, but I'm gonna assume they won't. I'm assuming they want to double check it. In which case I'll just buy one. And once they confirm that it's broken, hopefully they'll give me a refund, which would be best case. If they're actually going to send me another one, then I'll just go to a giveaway on it. The CPU is pretty expensive, I think, though I believe that they have just released a new one. Or are at least about to release a new one. Let's see, how expensive is it at the moment? 500 bucks, not quite. That's okay. Could be worse. I think it was 700 when I bought it initially. Yeah, it's still a bit, yeah. But yeah, if everything goes according to plan tomorrow, I'll be playing Payday 3. Stress test to CPU since Payday 3 is more prone to crashing. And then see like how good it works. Best case scenario, no more crashes. Or if so, it's caused by Payday. But yeah, we'll probably... It depends a bit, because like the stuttering crap is still a thing, right? Because of my friend list. So we'll see. Come on. Stop camping. Dude, as always, as long as there's room in my lobby, you're welcome to join. I don't have to go up. Come on, get up there. Come on. Come on. Okay. Oh, you lost your job? Dang. Well, I've been taking a break from Payday 3 because there is nothing left for me to do in that game. Like, I'm playing the game for like 10 heists and I start feeling the boredom. I've got everything in that game. There's nothing left for me to do, and the update doesn't solve that. I was thinking like, well, maybe there's gonna be some fun with people being able to chat now and stuff, but push to talk, not a thing. So I had to disable it. Because otherwise I'm gonna hear everyone doubled. But it's going. Shit like that. But yeah, actually I quit my job as well because of health related shit. I didn't lose it, I quit it by will. I wanted to do something else. And the stuttering is definitely not helping me stay entertained in Payday 3, it makes it a lot worse. So they need to fix that shit. I'm not sure if you heard of it, but essentially, if you have too many friends in the game, it's now causing stutters in the game. Which is not cool. And with stutters I mean something like losing up to 100 frames every 3, 4, 5 seconds. So like very, very annoying. How they manage that? Most likely because the social tab is now showing people's renown level. So it's probably calculating everyone's renown level. Would be my guess. But whether that's true, I don't know. And they haven't figured it out because, well, you know, their dev builds, they don't have friends. But pretty much everyone who's gotten that issue, either they removed friends and it solved it, pretty much altogether, or otherwise created a new profile and it solved it as well, so... Someone was in chat today, I think, who mentioned that, like, even if you get rid of friends, the issue can still appear because the people appear in the recently tab, and obviously it tries to calculate their shit as well. So even if you remove all the friends, you might still get the frame stutters. In which case I'm definitely unwilling to remove the friends. I mean, I would have to get rid of at least 400 friends to even make a difference. So, I'm not gonna do that. It's too much effort. I'm very well aware I would probably be able to do that. Because, like, I haven't been playing with a bunch of people for years. But it's just so much effort. It's just so much effort. I have over 500. It's like 480 something from Steam alone, and then there is Nebula. Because obviously I accepted a bunch of people to play with me while playing Payday 3. And yeah, on Steam you have to delete friends manually one by one, which is very annoying. That takes ages if you have to do it for like 400. Yeah, if you only have that few, you should be good. You shouldn't really feel the frame drop shit. And pretty much all the partners I talked to, they confirmed it. And just some other people too. So it kind of has to be that issue. It's probably the most annoying issue for me at the moment. I mean, there's some other weird shit that already broke again. For instance, we played Diamond District, triggered the search somehow, and every guard got stuck in place. Like, where they were at, they were just stuck in place. Well, a game that's coming out... Still gonna take a while though, because I think it's next year. Is Gears of War. Which I'm assuming is definitely going to be co-op. At least for like a horde mode or something. Other than that, I have nothing planned. Really just comes down to something releasing that somehow catches my attention. And is co-op possible, I guess. Gears used to be 5-player co-op even, in Horde. So we'll see. So like the campaign, it was 3-player co-op, escape mode was 3-player co-op as well. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if my old friends would actually hop back in as well. Because back in Gears 5 we did some challenge runs. Oh god, it's broken. We did some challenge runs. Sort of like we kind of like gained a little stash of players and tried to beat every escape map with every character solo mode on hardest difficulty. And we usually like played Horde together or played some escapes together and stuff like that. I'm assuming these folks might be coming back, and we've done like speedruns in quotes, just that the speedruns were built a little bit differently than you're kind of like used to. Because the way the speedruns there worked is like you gained negative time by killing enemies, and it depended how you killed them. I used to have like a whole spreadsheet that explained how this worked. So not only did you have to be fast, obviously, but you also had to literally kill every single enemy on the map. And it either had to be a headshot with an active weapon, like an actively reloaded weapon, because with a non-active reloaded weapon it wouldn't do as much. You wouldn't get as many negative points. Or otherwise do a very super strange combo with meat shielding them and having a teammate doing an active headshot on the meat shield. It was so strange. It was super, super weird. And then you had like some characters that managed to like give you aimbot and stuff, and some characters that managed to that you could like just shoot through the walls for a certain amount of time. So there's lots of weird ass combinations. And some enemies didn't really have a weak spot and like different modifiers and blah blah blah. This was very complicated. But if you're interested, just look for. I still have videos up on YouTube. You can just look for like Gears 5 escape time run or something like that. Yeah, literal perfect run. That's literally what we had to do. We had to be absolutely perfect. We got to a point where we literally had to be absolutely perfect. No mistakes allowed at all. And in some of the escapes we had to do very strange sort of setups with some glitches and stuff, and eventually some dude discovered that if you are able to make the game lag enough, you can pick up stuff more than once, and that completely broke the entire leaderboard. That's when you stopped. But before that, we were at least kind of like, it was still somewhat a viable sort of thing. Here, I can give you something where we should still have world record on, which is probably the most impressive run. This is probably the most impressive run. I think we still have world record on that one, if I recall. So yeah, we got a -2 hours because of the amount of enemies killed and how fast we were. But that should give you some insight of how it works. It's probably not the best showcase, like all the weird-ass glitches and stuff, but it is a relatively good showcase, I would say. And yeah, I also have done the most brutal horde run possible, so with like doing a solo horde run is almost impossible in general, and I've done it with the worst character in the game. I wanted to initially do it with every character, but I have done it with the worst one. So if you're like, if you have some spare time, feel free to watch this. It's only a 6-hour run. But that one was insane. I was like going into it, I was like, fuck, I'll just practice a bit, see if it works, and it magically aligned and worked out perfectly. Because the thing is, these guys, some of these, they are one-shotting you. So if you die, it's over. You have to start over, so... And Architect is pretty bad. The only thing it has is the shield, which absorbs the one-shots. So you're essentially 2 shots. That's everything. That's the only thing that this character has. It does have the hologram, which can be a bit used, but yeah. And I did have to play it on the worst map, or like the easiest map, simply because I didn't see it being possible anywhere else. I literally had to abuse some kind of cheese that sort of prevented the enemies to rush me down, because otherwise it would have been impossible. I think it's still impressive, even though it's a bit cheesy, I guess. But yeah, I'm hoping for that kind of stuff to make a comeback in the new Gears game. So we can do that again. That was a fun time. But yeah, in terms of escape, me and the gang, we've done all the escapes. And look at legs again. Look at this. The frick? Literally broken. Yeah, we've done all the escapes, all of every character. And from the community manager, we did actually get an exclusive weapon skin for that. Because I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty impressive. It was 500 and something runs altogether. Because it was like... Was it 18 characters? Something like that? 18 or 19 characters? I think 18 characters. And then a bunch of maps. Yeah, Gears is fun. Unfortunately, Gears 5 was plagued with a few weird decisions by Mr. Rob Ferguson. Hate that guy. So eventually it kind of like got abandoned. And hopefully the next Gears game's not gonna be that bad. I hope. Like, it wasn't terrible, but it was like, it could have improved a lot. And obviously the game was more known for its PvP thing, but never really was too much of a PvP fan. I did play PvP back in Gears 3, but after that I didn't really like it anymore. It's too Nasher heavy. Just generally too weird for my taste. How have I heard of him? Fucking Rod Ferguson, dude. Probably Diablo or Blizzard. That's where he moved to. But yeah, enjoy your shower, I guess. $7.16 on Fear and Greed, nice. You know what would be kind of funny to do? Do a loud speedrun but pacifist, and then just send a screenshot to Lucky and see him putting it into stealth. Because I think he's going after the kills to double check. So if he would do a loud run but pacifist, he might put it into stealth. I mean, what you could literally just do is like... technically... start in stealth, finish in loud. Theoretically. You just could call it both. Probably call it for stealth or loud, since he's only requesting a screenshot. Fear and Greed specifically, you could do that on. I don't think he would notice, and he would speed up the stealth time if he would do that. Or at least I think it would, probably. Yeah, of course, it's torture to do it, but still, would be funny. Does he actually have an overkill requirement on it? I didn't check. Yeah, he does. Okay. Can you see it in the screenshot? I don't think so, right? Yeah, I think I'm gonna dip out on the speedruns, just because of the frame drops anyways. Would be torture to do it with the frame drops that I have. Like, even if I'm getting the new CPU tomorrow, and like crashes and stuff is all fine and dandy, the frame drops are still gonna be there, for sure. Be right back. Dude, I mean, I'm a fan of salami, but like, I opened the fridge and there's just a huge wave of salami taste in my face. That was a bit too much. Come on, get him. There we go. I'm very close to reaching 60k kills for my dual edge. Dude, that fucking lag, dude. I really do think that the game has problems now calculating all the damage that I'm applying, and it's like lagging out the elites. By the looks of it. Like, it's not always the elites, but it's when the elites pop up. Why did I do that? It's pointless. Happy 3 hours! Even though it's just gonna be for a very quick time. But I've got 3 hours on the clock. Game crash. Cool. Well, I guess in that case, we'll take a break.